Hello dear students, welcome to Bajirao Ias Academy interview guidance program. So as part of this lecture we will be discussing about the renewable energy, particularly the solar energy. Now solar energy is very important because we have ambitious climate targets. So in order to meet these ambitious climate targets as part of India's intended nationally determined contributions, India's Panchamrut commitments, so promoting renewables, particularly the solar energy, is very important. So in this lesson we will be discussing about India's solar energy prospects. Okay, so what are the challenges in producing solar energy, and what are our targets in terms of producing or meeting our targets with respect to the solar energy. So how can we proceed with respect to the solar energy? So everything we will be discussing in this session. Okay, so now you have to understand that India has been aggressively pushing towards a more sustainable future by investing heavily in the renewable energy services. Okay, so now India has been investing heavily in the renewable energy sources. Okay, so particularly solar energy, and we all know that how India has been at the forefront of producing renewable energies, particularly the solar energy. So that is being evident from the fact that India has been setting up solar plants across different states, exploring the opportunities to attract private investment in setting up these solar power plants. So therefore, in order to meet the demand, in order to meet the renewable energy targets, so we have been relying more on renewable energies, particularly solar and wind energy, right? So the government of India has set the target to expand India's renewable energy installed capacity by 500 gigawatt 2030. Okay, so this goal is part of India's Panchamrut commitments. So this particular commitment says India will generate around 500 gigawatt of solar energy by 2030. Okay, so this is one such target that is promised by India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Now apart from that, India will meet 50% of its energy demand from the non-fossil fuel energy resources. So therefore this is also very important, and in this 50% non-fossil fuel energy, 60% is generated from the solar energy alone. So because of this reason also, solar energy is very important for India. Now you have to understand, solar energy is clean energy, and it is very important for India's green transition from fossil fuel based economy to a more green economy. Now India is committed to reducing the country's dependence on fossil fuels. So please, you have to understand, around 85% of India's fossil fuel requirements are met through imports. So therefore India is committed to reduce its dependence on fossil fuel imports and usage of fossil fuels, because that is the first step in achieving India's climate targets, India's climate goals. And that will also help India make a faster transition towards a greener future. So achieve or make Indian economy a green economy. So therefore India has been pushing towards renewable energy projects. Now in this respect, the government has also launched various initiatives for promoting, encouraging the renewable energy. It has also been providing various incentives to the private sector to participate in renewable energy production. So therefore in this context we need to understand the benefits of solar energy. Okay, so what are the benefits of the solar energy? So the first and foremost benefit is it is renewable in nature, right? So when any source of energy which is renewable, so then we can generate a constant source from that particular source. Now this solar energy is also one of the renewable source of energy, and this is considered as unconventional energy generating source. So therefore it can be produced indefinitely without depleting the natural resources. So there's no need to deplete the natural resources, and we can produce the energy indefinitely. So after that, the solar energy is considered as clean energy, right? Because it does not come with any harmful emissions into the atmosphere or environment. It will not contribute to the greenhouse gas emissions. So therefore, solar energy is often considered as a source of clean energy, and it produces no harmful emissions or pollution. And after that, we need to talk about the cost effective nature of the solar energy. So solar energy is cost effective, so compared to the conventional fuels, compared to the fossil fuels. Okay, so the cost of solar energy has decreased significantly in recent years, so thereby making it increasingly cost effective as a source of energy. Okay, so after that, we need to talk about the reliability of the solar energy. Now, solar energy systems are becoming increasingly reliable and durable, requiring little maintenance. So unlike other energy generating sources, systems, solar energy is more reliable. Now in this context, we need to understand the challenges which are associated with solar energy generation in India. So it comes with set of challenges. The first and foremost challenge is high initial cost. Whenever setting up solar plants, there's a high initial cost or capital investment. So this is the one factor that has been disincentivizing the private sector participation in the solar energy generation. So despite recent reductions in the cost of solar panel technology, the upfront cost of installation remains very high. Okay, so it remains very high. And after that, we need to talk about limited access to finance. Right, so in order to set up a solar power plant, due to high upfront cost or high initial cost and lack of enough finance, particularly plants or projects which are smaller and they set up in rural areas, so therefore it can be challenging for individuals or organizations to invest in solar energy. So they are unable to invest in solar energy generation. So after that, we need to talk about infrastructure and grid connectivity as well. Right, so infrastructure and grid connectivity lacking, a lack of the infrastructure in some areas in the country make it difficult to transmit the electricity generated from solar panels to where it is needed. Okay, so after that, the land availability is also another important factor, since we have a very limited land availability. Okay, and there is suitable land requirements also making it further challenging to set up these solar power plants. Okay, so finding suitable land for setting up large solar power projects can be challenging in India. So because there's a competing demand for land and other purposes such as agriculture and urban development. Okay, so there are set of programs or initiatives that were launched by the government with respect to promoting solar energy. So what are those programs? So the government has launched solar park scheme. Okay, so the solar park scheme plans to build a number of solar parks, so where the solar energy is being produced. Now each solar park will have the capacity of generating 500 megawatt, and these solar parks will be set up across different states. So the second most important initiative that was launched was rooftop solar scheme. Right, so at the individual level, in order to promote the production of solar energy, the rooftop solar scheme has also been launched. So to harness the solar power by installing solar panels on the roofs of houses. So after that, the government has also launched National Solar Mission. So the objective of National Solar Mission is also to encourage, promote, incentivize the production of solar energy. Okay, so this is one of the major initiative of the government of India and state governments to promote ecologically sustainable growth while addressing India's energy security challenge. And after that, the government has also launched Srishti scheme. Okay, so what does this Srishti scheme actually means? So it is a sustainable rooftop implementation of solar transfiguration of India. So this particularly promotes solar rooftop power projects in India. And the last and most important scheme is International Solar Alliance. So this International Solar Alliance has been launched by India in partnership with the France. So now at least half of the global countries which are in tropics are now part of the International Solar Alliance, and this group membership has been further expanding. So the overall objective of International Solar Alliance is share technology, share best practices, and further enhance cooperation, partnership, finance with respect to solar power production, solar power generation, and further expand the renewable energy projects across these countries. Okay, so therefore it is actually an action oriented, member driven, collaborative platform for increased deployment of solar energy technologies. So this is all about the initiatives which were launched to promote solar energy in India, the challenges, the benefits, and also the current scenario, the targets of the renewable energy targets that India has been announced. Now when you are answering an interview based question, you will be asked about those challenges. What will be the challenges of solar energy production? So what are the challenges, or what are the benefits of solar energy? What are the initiatives that the government has launched, and what are the targets that government has with respect to renewable energy production? Okay, so I hope you understood about the solar energy and its different dimensions. So that's all for this session. Thank you.